Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all the books that I plan on reading in the month of October. So I have a total of 6 books here. And if you guys saw my most recent wrap up for September, you saw that I only read 2 books. So this is a bit ambitious for me just being with school, but these are like the general books that I plan on reading this month. 2 of them are actually ones that are going to be coming out this month that I would like to read if I can, but we'll just see. So we'll just kind of like pretend that I can read these month because it will be getting close to midterms and all that. So, you know, let's just kind of pretend. But basically this has kind of like a wide variety of books that I'm really excited about. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first book that I have this month is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent, and this is actually the Tales and Teacups book club pick for this month. So if you're interested in all about that, I will link the announcement video down below so you can go check that out, and then also in the cards as well. But basically this follows a woman named Agnes who was the first and last person to get the death penalty in Iceland, and this kind of follows her story. She ended up murdering 2 men and she gets sent to like this countryside farm, and while she's there the family kind of learns that maybe there's more to this murder that meets the eye. So I think this one will be really interesting. What I also really like about it is that it's very short. So yeah, it's just like, let's see, it is 313 pages, so that's really perfect. It's not too long, so hopefully this will be something that I really end up enjoying. And isn't this cover just really stunning? This is how I picture October skies being, so I thought it was like a perfect, you know, I always think like kind of historical books, like historical fiction is really good to read during like the fall and winter months, so I thought this book would be perfect. So yeah, so this is actually the book that I'm currently reading right now and I'm really loving, and it is What Happened by Hillary Clinton, and this is her book that just came out actually last month that basically is her story of everything that happened during her presidential race of 2016. And I know like I was really rooting for her to win. I really like, and I know a lot of people are very upset about basically everything that took place during this election and everything that's taking place now. So I'm about like a quarter of the way through this so far, and it's basically talking about her experience of why she chose to run, like some of the things that took place. And like what I really like about it is that she's very honest and saying, you know, maybe that was something I did wrong. Like she's really kind of being honest and admitting her mistakes, which I think is really good. She's not holding herself up on a high horse. She's very candid about that. And then just kind of like everything and just her experience with everything. It's been really good so far. I've been like just basically reading about how she took the loss, and just but also kind of how her loss kind of was a catalyst for like this movement, this feminist movement and all that. So I've been really enjoying this so far. And so yeah, like I said, like I think it's just like, especially everything going on in politics right now, I think this one is a really kind of good, hopeful read. It is some parts very hard to get through because, you know, like she's talking about her experience and how she feels she let everyone down, so that part is a little bit sad and like I got a little teary-eyed during it, but I think it is very eye-opening. And yeah, it just makes you really mad at the world, but I don't know, I've been really liking it so far. So this is a book that actually I have on hold at the library. I'm first in the queue, so hopefully I should be getting it sometime this week that this video goes up, so I'm really excited about that. And it is The Woman in the Castle by Jessica Shattuck. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And this is a historical fiction novel taking place at the end of World War II in this kind of castle. So I'll read it here for you. So set at the end of World War II in a crumbling Bavarian castle that once played host to all of German high society, a powerful and propulsive story of 3 widows whose lives and fates become intertwined, an affecting, shocking, and ultimately redemption novel. I think this one will be really interesting. I really am a sucker for historical fiction, especially the ones that kind of tell kind of like the female perspective to it. So I think this one will be really interesting, just seeing how it all plays out and how kind of all their stories intertwines, and that's like basically I want to know about it. So yeah, I'm really excited to kind of pick this book up when it's ready, because I know I will be loving it. So this is a book that I had on my TBR last month and I did not end up getting to, but it's something hopefully I will be able to get to this month, and it is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. I just recently watched the Wonder Woman movie because it came out on DVD last week or so, so I've been really kind of pumped. It's kind of really pumped me up to kind of read this one. I think it'll be really interesting. I just love kind of like the female heroine in here and just how like the Wonder Woman character and Diana just in general, so I think this one will be really interesting. I don't want to know anything about this one, so I just kind of want to go into it blind. So yeah, and it's also written by Leigh Bardugo, and I really love the Grisha trilogy, so I'm really excited to kind of see what this book has in store. So yeah, so the next two books are ones that will be coming out this month that I am really excited for, so hopefully like I'll be able to get to those. Probably won't, but you know, I can be ambitious and hopeful. So the first one is Dead Stop by Barbara Nickless, and this is the sequel to Blood on the Tracks, and I ended up reading this first book over the summer and I really loved it. So it follows a woman named Sydney who is a detective for like the railroads. She's kind of an investigator for that. Apparently that's a thing, I don't know, and her kind of like partner is her a dog that she knew when she was in Afghanistan fighting. And what I think is really interesting about, I don't know anything about this plot in general. I like when it comes to like these kind of murder mystery series, I'd like to know nothing about it, so I'm going into this one blind. But what I really like about especially the first book is because it did have kind of like an overarching storyline that's also going to kind of be in later books, which kind of relates back to her time in Afghanistan. But I think this book did a really good job at kind of showcasing PTSD and kind of bringing awareness to it, and how especially for like military people or anyone like comes back from war, there aren't a lot of resources for them to getting the help they need. So I thought that was really interesting, but also I really enjoyed kind of like the first book and just the character, and just especially having like the dog sidekick like partner, I thought was really neat. So yeah, this is a book that I'm really excited for. I think it comes out on the second, I want to say. I think the second. I could be wrong, but I'm really excited about this one coming out. And lastly, I have Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray, and this is the third book in the Diviner series. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to get to it this month, but I think it would be a really good book to read in kind of closer to Halloween, especially because it is kind of deals with some paranormal things, and there's, I don't know, I was really creeped out with the first book. It's been 2 years, over 2 years since, yeah, the second one came out, so I don't really remember a lot, so I'm gonna have to like go and find like a summary that explains it, because I don't really remember anything. But it kind of, what I really like about it is that it takes place in the roaring 20s in New York, which I think is such a really interesting time, but it also kind of follows kind of different storylines of friends, and they kind of have like powers in a sense, but then there's kind of like this overarching bad guy that's trying to kind of take them down. So I think this is really interesting. I really loved the first book, and the second book was okay. I don't remember a lot about it. I think that was one of like my first reviews that I did on this channel, so if I can find that, I'll link that down below. But yeah, like I said, I'm really excited. I think this one will be a good Halloween read. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to it this month, but one can only dream. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what some of the books you will be reading this month, and if you've read any of these, let me know what you thought. So yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.